What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Okay, so you guys see we have a new set, and I've been working on this for the last couple of weeks. You guys need to let me know in the comments below what you think. You know, if you think it's a good set, not a good set. Be nice, but this is the new set. So today, I want to talk about some new polling. We have a new poll coming out of Michigan. So we're going to take a look at that poll, and then we'll take a look at the Senate map. When it comes to Michigan, Michigan is a must defend for Democrats. Democrats have to defend Michigan. And so in the Democratic primary, we have three candidates. When it comes to the Republican side, they already know who the candidate is going to be. It's going to be Rogers. But we're going to take a look at the Democratic side today. So that is what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. If you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. So let's get right into the new poll. We are looking at 270 to win. So 270 to win here. And the first thing, let's take a look at the prediction market. So Kalshi's showing this. We have McMorrow at 1% chance of winning. Stevens at 17% chance of winning, and El Sayed 82% chance of winning. So clearly El Sayed, when it comes to the prediction market, is the favorite. Now let's take a look at this, the latest polling here, and I don't want to butcher this. Susquehanna polling. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments how you pronounce this. This was posted on 6/25/2026. Now, you only had 389 likely voters, so they're probably likely Democratic voters. That's what they're showing here. And so the margin of error here is plus or minus 5%. So usually when we see a low number when it comes to the sample size, that means that margin of error is much larger. So 5% plus or minus, that's a big margin of error. And then when we look at the outcome here, we have El Sayed at 22%. You have Stevens at 20%, you have McMorrow at 9%, and then look at this, you have other at 49%. So in my opinion, when it comes to this poll, you're not getting a lot of information, right? You're not getting a lot of information because the margin of error, this all falls within the margin of error, and then you have this large number of other here, so we don't know how they're going to vote. So even McMorrow at 9%, if this other votes, you know, if the majority votes for McMorrow, it could push her over the top of Stevens and El Sayed. So because we have this large number, we don't know what's going on with the poll, but I will show you the last three polls. We have the average here of the last three polls. It's showing El Sayed at 31.7%. It's showing Stevens at 29.3%, and it's showing McMorrow at 9.3%. Now, I said this before, when it comes to McMorrow, it has to, there's going to be a point because we have until August. August is when we will see the primary. But McMorrow, at some point, she might decide to drop out of the race. I don't know, but she might decide to drop out of the race. Her numbers have really changed over the last few months. If you look down here, if we go down and we just look at the McMorrow column here, you go down and you see she had, at one point, she was doing really well. Okay, right here, she won this poll back in January, and then she was challenging in this poll here. She did well in this poll here. So I mean, she had her shine, but now it just looks like her numbers just continue to go down. Okay, now I mean, if you really want to look at it, she had a little bit of a bump from this 6%. So she went up to 9% there. So, I mean, when we're looking at this, and then another thing too is when we're looking at sample size, and I've said this before, when it comes to Michigan and Iowa, we're not getting a lot of really sound polling. We're not getting the polls where you have a nice sample size, a good 3% plus or minus margin of error, likely voters. We're getting a lot, we get the likely voters, but we're not getting a large sample size. Okay, and so that could be problematic when we're looking at the polling. But what I like to do, and this is one thing that I didn't do in the past, back in 2024, and I made a big mistake just mainly focusing on the polling and not really focusing on the prediction market. You need to focus on both, because as we saw in 2024, the polling was very close, and I was clear to say the polling is very close. However, Harris was leading in most of the polls. Now, she wasn't leading by a large margin, maybe 1.2 points, but she was leading in most of the polls going into the election. But guess what? The prediction market was saying that Trump was going to win. So the prediction market was more accurate back then in 2024. And so we can't neglect the prediction market. And so now I like to look at both. And so in this case, when we're looking at El Sayed at an 82% chance of winning, and then we move down and we start looking at El Sayed in the polls, you see 22% here. You see 42% here that he has the lead. You see here, Stevens had the lead, but he's very close. He's within that margin. Well, we don't know what the margin of error here is because they didn't show it. But usually when they're not showing a margin of error, it's probably more than 3%. So he's within the margin of error there. When it comes down here, he has the lead in this 28% here. And then here he falls within the margin of error, 23% to 25%. So El Sayed is doing really well. And I think a lot of the votes, I was talking about McMorrow, I think some of those votes are transitioning over to El Sayed. And now he has the wind at his back. Will he be able to keep it leading into the primary? We'll have to see. But right now, El Sayed is doing really well. Now let's take a quick look at our Senate map. So looking at the Senate map, right now, the reason why Michigan is so important for Democrats to defend is because if they cannot defend Michigan, one, it's probably going to be a long night because right now they do have an advantage to actually win in Michigan. And so for some reason in November, if we see that Democrats are struggling in Michigan, then that could be a sign that they're going to be struggling in some of these other states. But if we're looking at a scenario, let's just say we look at that scenario right now, Democrats and independents have 47, Republicans have 53. Let's say Republicans win in Michigan. If they win in Michigan, now Democrats are going to have to do the Hail Mary. Okay, they're not. I mean, we'd be looking at a situation like this. Democrats would need to defend Georgia. They need to defend New Hampshire. They need to win in North Carolina, win in Maine, win in Ohio, win in Alaska, and that would bring them to 50-50. But guess what? Vice President comes in and breaks a tie. So Republicans would still maintain control of the Senate. And so now they need to win another state. So they need to win Texas or need to win Iowa. And so looking at Texas and Iowa, I think it's going to be much easier for Democrats to defend in Michigan than to win in Texas or to win in Iowa. Now, if they can win in North Carolina, if they can win in Maine, Ohio, and Alaska, and defend in Michigan, that would give them the 51 that they need to take back control of the Senate. That's why Michigan is very, very important. Now, I'm not saying that Democrats don't have a shot to win in Texas. I truly believe that they do have a shot to win in Texas. That race is very close now, and it will probably stay close leading into the November election. But it's just, I mean, we're looking at the pathway. Democrats are looking at what is our best, what states do we have the best chance of winning in? I think it's going to be North Carolina, Maine, Alaska, and Ohio. And if they can defend these three states, Georgia, Michigan, and New Hampshire, then they're on their way to taking back control of the Senate. And so now I want to hand it off to you. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And then also, let me know what you guys think about the new set. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.